Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with EVE Online, and I've played around an average amount of EVE Online. I think maybe a little bit less than average, but not by much, and it's been going decently well. I did a bit of exploration, found a couple of sites. I also did a little bit of mining, just, you know, to get some compressed ore and increase my stocks in Jita. With a potential war brewing in Nullsec, I think it can be good to keep a close eye on the market and to get your stocks of resources healthy and high so that you can sell to the higher bidders once demand starts trickling in. Another good week for blueprint copies as well, for the structure related blueprint copies, so they've still been selling quite nicely, and the price of the blueprint copies for the Raitaru and the Astrahus have actually gone up. So basically I think that this could again be related to the Nullsec war. If that does become a pretty prolonged war, they will probably burn down quite a few of those structures, which will then need to be replaced basically, and as a result we see this higher demand. We've also seen in EVE Talk that the demand for PI that is related to structure seems to be up as well, and that is probably both preparations and again the increased demand in need for structures. So looks pretty good. I can focus a little bit more back towards making some copies, bringing them to the market regularly, and making quite a decent amount of ISK of that every single week. So it's going decently well. Also unloaded my PI, so a couple 100 million from there as well. But other than that, we're waiting of course for the August release, which should be coming on August 15th, where first of all for the explorers it's going to be an awesome change when the signatures will become will basically remain through jumps and through docking and undocking. So awesome change coming from that perspective. It will also get the captain's quarters, so from that point on EVE Talk will look a little bit different. And what was the third thing? Oh yeah, the post bonuses for stuff like reprocessing and industry are also being taken away, so they're basically pushing forward with the removal of bosses and driving people towards the new structures as well. So those things are definitely happening in EVE Online, and I think after August, because August is still right in the middle of the summer, which means that a lot of people will be on holidays, I think we'll start to get our first bit of information on the new PvE content that CCP is planning towards the winter expansion, which I'm actually personally really looking forward to as well. Next up, let's talk a little bit about Banished. So I did start a new Banished town. You can see here the design philosophy that I'm trying out. It's going to be a central market surrounded by just one layer of houses, so only 12 houses around the market, and then those guys are then surrounded by some production facilities, and then in the corners we've got farms. This should be decently close to self-sustaining, and not enough on the food side, but you want that extra population to go into wood production and then food production in those forests and things like that as well, of course. So that's basically the new town in Banished that I'm trying. Playing Banished, that's something that I do when I need to relax, and last week was super busy at my work. Really, I had a lot of stuff to do. They just keep on giving me extra projects to do. So as a result, I came home extremely tired, and I was basically unable to do anything all too intense, especially in the second half of the week. So that's the reason why I jumped back into a little bit of Banished. If you've never played this game and you're looking for something that is super relaxed, this is definitely my go-to game for that. An incredible little city builder there that basically really does allow you to try out different things, have fun doing that, but also relax, because all you have to do is tell your little guys to start building stuff, and then they'll slowly do that, and then you'll watch your city grow. It has a much stronger ebb and flow for some of the population dynamics than most other games in the genre, and as a result, this is to me the perfect game, the one game that I keep going back to when I need to relax. And yeah, last week was one of those weeks at my job, and as a result a little bit of Banished as well. After that we've got Heroes of the Storm, so that of course is a game that I am keeping up with. It's all about the daily quests, so I've been taking my time. I did switch a little bit from my normal schedule. So normally what I do is basically I just make sure that I complete one quest, and then sometimes when they overlap, you finish 2 or even all 3 quests on a single day. Then I take a break for a couple of days. But last week what I tried to do, especially in the first part of the week when I still had a little bit of extra energy left, was to play one game, even if I don't have to complete a quest on that day. And so as a result, you make a little bit of progress beforehand, and this really does put you in the position where playing 1 or 2 games of Heroes of the Storm is going to get you through all of the daily quests without having one of those daily quests that would normally pop up lapse because you're stuck with 3 by the end of the day. So still a lot of fun for me, especially Zagara. I really do see a big difference when I play Zagara compared to when I play some of the heroes that I don't know so well. So I'm much better performing with her. I can eke out wins quite a bit more easily because I know what to do, I know where to be, and I know how to counter a lot of enemies with Zagara as well. And then my second favorite one is Lily, which has been going, well, that's a bit more mixed, right? Lily is not the very best support out there, and you become much more dependent on your enemy team, your team's performance in PvP. So I feel like as a Gara, just because sometimes if you're left alone, you can do such good pushes and grab so much XP that you can actually make the difference by yourself, even if your team is not doing that great in the PvP fights. If you're playing as Lily or as a support, you are completely dependent on your team performing during the PvP fight, and then you just basically have to try to out-mana the other support, outplay the other support. But yeah, you're much more dependent on your team knowing exactly what they're doing. And so as a result, the results with Lily are probably around 50-50, right? I think I definitely lose as much as I win. But on Zagara, I think I'm definitely quite a bit more positive, and I tend to win those games a bit more easily. So for those 1 games a day, right, when I got the quest for like play a Warcraft hero, play a Starcraft hero, I chose to try out some other heroes, guys like Raynor, Sylvanas. I tried a bit more of her as well, and as a result, lots of losses there, but that's just the name of the game. And if I feel like I need a bit more winning, then I just wait for a full quest to pop up and then play 2 games as Zagara, and those are very, very rewarding. So yeah, it's at the right pace for me, the Heroes of the Storm quests, and I'm still enjoying it quite a lot. And then finally we have Path of Exile. So Path of Exile came out with the new expansion, Fall of Oriath. I haven't gotten to the new content just yet because I'm actually starting a new character in the new league. It's gonna be a Templar that is focused on spellcasting, and it's a great game. This expansion coming so soon after the last season of Diablo 3 means that I don't have that much extra energy to put into Path of Exile at the moment, but I'm definitely going to try and get this character through at least all the new content, so all of the new acts that they have added to Path of Exile. So I think it's act 5 to 10, and that should get you, I think, close to a max level character. So very, very interesting, massive expansion for Path of Exile. I still have a little bit of work to do before I actually start on that new content, but I look forward to that, and definitely look forward to sharing that with you guys as well. So for a free-to-play game, this is really, really huge. I think they're adding more content, more new stuff to do than what was in the game before. All of that for free. You can of course support them. I think you got some early access to all of those new acts if you supported them with some purchases. But yeah, Path of Exile is definitely like a free-to-play game done right. It's more complex, it's more demanding than Diablo 3, so it's a game in that same style, but you definitely need a bit more of a commitment in order to make progress and to play through a season or something like that, or a league of Path of Exile. But it is absolutely a great game, and from what I've seen so far, they've also been working hard on smoothing the game out a little bit, improving the graphics, making the maps look a little bit more, I don't know, functioning compared to the old ones. So I've also seen some general improvements across the game, not so much in gameplay, that is still the same, and the misses that you have with your attacks do still feel very, I don't know, bad somehow. Compared to Diablo, that is a little bit of a different in gameplay that I do notice, where I prefer the feeling of Diablo when I'm playing it compared to the feeling of Path of Exile. But on all the other fronts, from the graphics department there, I do think that they're getting closer and closer to a very, very polished game that feels like it's really completed, fully functioning, and that is actually competing with something like a Blizzard game. So very, very nice so far, and definitely looking forward to doing some more Path of Exile. And that's really all I managed to do. So I think have at least 2 very tough weeks at work to go. I'll do my best to keep up with the videos, but if for some reason I would somehow lapse a day, then you guys know what's happening there. It's just extremely busy at work. I think it's also because it's summertime, so a lot of people are on holiday. That means that you have to take over some of their work as well, and things like that do result in quite a bit more pressure on me, and a little bit less energy when I come home for the channel. But I'll do my best, no promises, and thank you very much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys next time.